Hi, I'm Maggie Keller, and this is my brachial plexus video. So I'm going to start off by drawing 5 boxes, and these are going to represent the anterior rami of the brachial plexus. So I'm going to start with C5, C6, C7, C8, and T1. C5 and C6 are going to come together. C7 is going to remain alone, and C8 and T1 are going to come together. These are going to represent the roots of the brachial plexus. So there are 2 nerves that originate from the roots. One is called the dorsal scapular. And the muscles that this innervates are the rhomboid, major and minor, and the levator scapulae. The second nerve that originates from the roots is going to combine fibers from C5, C6, and C7. And this nerve is called the long thoracic. The long thoracic innervates the serratus anterior. From the roots, we have the trunks. C5 and C6 are going to come together to form the upper or superior trunk. C7 is going to form the middle trunk. And C8 and T1 are going to form the lower or inferior trunk. So there are 2 nerves that originate from the trunks, and they're both from the superior trunk. We have the nerve to the subclavius, and we have the suprascapular. The suprascapular innervates the supraspinatus, the infraspinatus, and some muscles of the shoulder. The nerve to the subclavius innervates the subclavius. So from here I'm going to draw a division line, and anything on this side is going to be supraclavicular, meaning that anything on this side is above the clavicle, and anything on this side is infraclavicular, meaning that it is below the clavicle. So from the trunks, we'll have an anterior and a posterior division stemming from each trunk. So this one will be anterior, posterior, anterior, posterior, and then posterior, anterior. And there are no nerves originating from these divisions. However, the posterior divisions will all come together to form the posterior cord. Then the anterior divisions from the superior and middle trunks are going to come together to form the lateral cord. And the anterior division of the inferior trunk is going to remain alone to become the medial cord. So the cords are named according to their relative position, according to the auxiliary arteries. So the lateral cord will have 1 nerve originating from it, which is the lateral pectoral. And this innervates the pectoralis major. From the posterior cord, there are going to be 3 nerves originating from it. There is the upper subscapular scapular, the lower subscapular, and the thoracodorsal nerve. So the upper subscapular innervates the subscapularis. The lower subscapular innervates the subscapularis and the teres major. And the thoracodorsal nerve innervates the latissimus dorsi. So stemming off of the medial cord, there are going to be 3 nerves originating from it. There's going to be the medial pectoral, the medial brachial cutaneous, and the medial antebrachial cutaneous. The medial pectoral will innervate the pectoralis major and minor. And both of these nerves will innervate the skin. So from here we have the terminal branches of the brachial plexus. The lateral cord will branch into the musculocutaneous nerve, and fibers from the lateral cord will come together with fibers from the medial cord to form the median nerve. So then we have the posterior cord branching into 2 different nerves. We have the axillary and we have the radial. And the radial nerve is really thick because it innervates a lot of things. And then we also have a nerve coming off of the medial cord. And this is going to be called the ulnar nerve. The musculocutaneous nerve is going to innervate the anterior brachium. The axillary nerve is going to innervate the deltoid and the teres minor. The radial nerve is going to innervate the posterior brachium and antebrachium. And then the median nerve is going to innervate the lateral intrinsic muscles of the hand and the anterior antebrachium. And finally, the ulnar nerve is going to innervate the medial antebrachium and the medial intrinsic muscles of the hands. And that's all. Thank you.